What's up, everyone? We are back here in the Canadian Nerd, and we are talking to Gregory Brown, one half of AsapSCIENCE. And I say one half because Mitch is actually on
Big Brother Canada.
Exactly.
He'll be out soon.
And best of luck to him.
Yeah, thank you. Well, he's actually already been voted off.
Oh,
he's in the jury
okay.
house. Whatever, we don't need to talk about it. We'll see him soon. He'll be out soon.
My best piece of advice is that you need to work so hard. If you think that you're exhausted, you need to continue to work, because a lot of the people here who are on these platforms and who are doing well, who we work with and talk to, are, in my opinion, do not have a very good work-life balance, which is something we're learning about, but they are working so hard.
Being in Toronto is always important to me because I love Toronto, and I'm from Toronto, and like the YouTube space just opened in Toronto, which is exciting because I know for us, and I don't know how often this happens in other industries in Toronto, there's a lot of a pull and like need for us to go to someplace like LA or New York or like these, you know, hubs of whatever, for in our case entertainment or like digital content. And we don't want to do that. Like, I want to stay in Toronto. Toronto's the most amazing city in the world. It's better. I hate LA. So I'm just like, I think it's important that these things happen here and we realize that there's no need for us to go to America. Canada is an amazing, thriving place. So is Toronto. And so I think if this is facilitating an ability for people to come together, learn, and make Toronto be on the map of a place where people can stay and do digital content and be successful, then that is really important.
If you want to make YouTube content that is consistent, a weekly video on YouTube, I would say, is the best. Most YouTubers now are at the point where they make 2 videos a week.
Most YouTubers in Toronto aren't necessarily maybe as fortunate enough to have like a separate office from our home where we have employees, and so in that case, I think the YouTube space would be great for a lot of people as a place to go and work with other YouTubers and even just talk and do their day-to-day things. But I think for us, the most important thing for us is that we're going to use it to collaborate, which is an important part of YouTube that we aren't that good at. And it's amazing to think of reasons to not make a collaboration because of awkwardness and barriers. You've maybe even never met the person. It seems unprofessional. You're embarrassed about your setup. They're embarrassed about their setup. So if there's a place where everything's, you know, professionally done, the technology's there, and there's sort of a community already built, then it'll be a lot easier to go and not have that, you know, embarrassed barrier that can actually inhibit collaborations all the time.
The only way that you're going to learn about what's going to be best for your content is by putting it out there, reading the comments, failing until you figure something out and it clicks. And so my advice is, if you want to be a YouTuber or do something in general in new media, you need to just start, and for your own independent journey, learn what the challenges are going to be.
It's really important that you self-reflect after every single video and think what worked, what didn't work, why wasn't that successful, why was that successful, within your brand and within the niche thing that you're doing, because that's important. You have to make sure you're doing something that's clear and it's a box for people. To your best of your ability, try and push it. Try and figure out what you can do to make it different and to make it more shareable or make it more, you know, interesting to someone who's different than the audience that you're used to. Like, for example, you're obviously talking about nerd culture. How can you make nerd culture more interesting to people who aren't necessarily self-identifying as nerds? And that is super hard and it's exhausting, and a lot of the time it takes a lot more effort, but that is how you're going to be able to see growth outside of the specific niche you're in. But on top of all that, it needs to be niche. That's the other thing. It's YouTube. It needs to be niche, but it needs to be niche, and then you got to push it. Yeah.
You know what?
Did that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I think that's a perfect place to stop.
Okay, cool.
Right here. So it was amazing finally meeting you.
No, it was nice
and seeing you
too.
talk.
Good job.
And everything
Congratulations,
else like that.
and
No,
keep it up.
Thank you. All right. And that was us from the Canadian Nerd here with Gregory Brown from AsapSCIENCE.